I'm in Melbourne town. Good morning, folks. Hey, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, folks. How you going? Who cares where you're from? Hope you're going to have an awesome day today. We got young Mr. Joe in the chat first up. G'day, Joe. Welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you here. Well. What can I say? Only good things happening today in the world of HH4C and down under cruises. Bidet Nick, welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you here. Well, first things first. What can I say? Lots happening with the ducks. I've got a question for everybody. Can you tell me, where am I? What is the place behind me? Joe, if you know, that'd be awesome. But you have a guess, folks. Where are we and what can you tell me? Anyway, here we go. So, welcome aboard, everybody. Nice to have you on board. So what we're talking about today is what's happening with the ducks. Well, some exciting news happened early this morning when I woke up. I got an email, and that email is what we call an EIN number. So the good news is any fundraising that we do over on the other side of the pond, your side in the U.S., any fundraising that we do there is now tax deductible. So we now have the EIN number, so you can now claim tax deductions on donations. So if you're coming and joining us on the new cruise, the rock and roll cruise, the rock and roll tribute cruise, you will then be able to claim some tax deduction on a portion of the cruise. Oh yeah, it's big news. It really is. Joe, bad news. The picture behind is not Melbourne. It is not Melbourne. G'day, Nick from Joe. Yep, it is not Melbourne. Anyway, so that's all good news, because that means any time that you come on down and you go ahead and make a donation, it's great. Okay, Nick is saying to Joe, the days Sean was trying to think of is Friday, June the 14th to Sunday, June the 16th are the dates that he'll be in Melbourne. So, young Mr. Joe, come on down. See if it comes down. Let's see if you come down. No, Nick, you're wrong. It's not Sydney. Sierra Hotel, whatever it is, Tango, it is too. It is Sydney Central. No, it's not. Sorry, mate. No, it's not. Thanks, mate. Time to plan. Awesome. So that'll be great. Okay. So, yep. No, it's not Sydney. It's not Melbourne. It's not Sydney. Keep guessing, folks. Keep guessing. There are a couple of telltale signs in the picture that'll give it away. No, Joe. Not Brizzy either. Not Melbourne, not Sydney, not Brizzy. Where am I? Have a look. See if you can pick it. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put up some info here. G'day, Najuma. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Bit early for you in the morning, but nice to talk to you. Hey, Najuma, guess where we're coming? We're coming stateside. And you know why we're coming stateside? We're coming stateside for this. It is the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. Okay, now, Najuma, let me give you a couple of heads up on this one. Okay, let me give you some ideas. Yes, it is the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. The good news with this Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise is it leaves Port Canaveral on the 29th of November 2025. So, 29th of November 2025, Ilana and I will be in Canaveral getting on board that cruise ship. You're going to come join us? It's all all of the benefits of it are coming towards HH4C. So that's who's benefiting. Have a look here, Najuma. This is certainly going to help you out here. This is costs. This is what it will cost, including a drinks package, specialty dining, and $100 on board credit. Now, Najuma, I know you're not going to be able to manage this on your own, but if you share a cabin, you can share a cabin, and these are the costs. Contact Bruce. There's his number, 833-626-8728. Talk to Bruce, and Bruce will get you on board. All we need is $50 to hold the cabin. And we want that $50 ASAP, and then we've got a payment plan that you can go head out towards. But all the info will be in the hands of Bruce. So talk to Bruce from Ocean to Ocean, and he'll have all the info for you. Right, Najuma, I want you to be on this cruise, right? It's going to be 4 years to the day that we'll be on a group cruise together. Yeah? 3 years, beg your pardon. 3 years to the day. So, Najuma, get on board. Come on, please. Please, please, please. Okay. Let's see. What have we got here? Now, I got to just do this very quickly. So those are the details of the group cruise for the rock and roll tribute. All right, Nick took a guess. He just went and did a swing, and yes, it is the Port of Adelaide. And I'll tell you what I think gave it away, Nick, was the balls. Right? You've heard me talk about the Adelaide balls. Well, that's it. Joe is saying g'day to Najuma. Joe's also saying he's going to try and get a little group tour of the Kenworth Trucks Australia production facility organised. A friend of his works there and he wants to see the plant. Mate, that would be awesome. That would really be awesome. Okay, now we've got a Facebook user going with a g'day buddy. There's only one person I know that g'day buddy's me. And that g'day buddy person has got to be my mate, Burjo. Welcome aboard, Burjo. Nice to have you here, mate. Hang on one second. I'm just going here because I just want to clarify. And if I am right, then I am right, because then I will get my 2 cents worth. And yes, it is Burjo. Welcome aboard, buddy. Hey, Burjo. Maybe you come with us on the... No, well, first of all, if you can make it to the Ducks cruise on the 2nd of Jan, because that's just outside your back doorstep, and that is on the Celebrity Edge, and that heads out towards South Pacific. Then on the 29th of November, we're going on the Norwegian Joy, having a rock and roll group cruise, heading out of Port Canaveral and heading down to St Martin's and Tortola, and then back up to Stirrup Key, which is the Norwegian private island, and then the Norwegian private island, and then we head back up to Port Canaveral again. So come on in, have a look see. So welcome aboard, mate. Nice to have you here. Joe, you think it's Adelaide, and yes, you are right. It is Adelaide. It is Adelaide because there is their balls. Port Canaveral, isn't that in Florida? It sure is, mate. You going to come on down? Come and join us. Joe, you know what? All you need to do is share with somebody, because those cabins are dual occupancy. All you need to do is share with somebody and catch a plane. Mate, you're going to have an absolute ball. We're going to have so much fun. That cruise is going to be amazing. You never know who you're going to see, who you're going to catch up. We're trying to sell 200 cabins. Do you know what 200 cabins means? 200 cabins means you're going to meet like 200 different YouTube creators like us. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be huge fun, and you never know, all sorts of things. Thought so. He remembers Cape Canaveral. Yeah, Cape Canaveral is where the rockets are going out of, and hopefully, if we're lucky enough, we just wait the 5 minutes and watch a a spaceship go up. All right. So that's the news. We have our cruise-a-thon happening in 8 days. So this coming weekend, next week. So in other words, this coming Friday, a week is when we start. So Friday week, we start our cruise-a-thon. And you know what? It's going to be an absolute ball. We've got one slot left at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Either still vacant. If we can get anybody to fill that, that'd be extremely awesome. Anyway, oops, just dropping things everywhere. Anyway, folks, so let's continue. The good news is that in exactly 263 days, Amy is going to be putting forward, well, she's taking some people along with her on a cruise. And this is the cruise she's going to be going on. I always get that hung up because I never time it properly. But anyway, that was Amy's cruise. I reckon that's going to be an awesome cruise. On board, it's going to be Roxanne or Roxy. She's going to have an awesome time, I can tell you. It's going to be an amazing cruise. And I know that there are about 10 other creators going on there, two of which are on the Helping Hands for Cruising board. So it's going to be an awesome cruise. Now, I'll give you an idea of what's gone out of Melbourne or what's in Melbourne today or round about now. Today was Vasco da Gama. It was in town. Tomorrow we've got the Resilient Lady. And then on Friday we've got the Viking Orion. Also the Disney Wonder. They're going to be sharing the Station Pier. On Saturday, we're going to be having Seabourn in, and then back again on Monday will be the Disney Wonder. So that's what's in Melbourne. In Sydney, we've got, let me see, we had Majestic Princess in Sydney today. Tomorrow, Queen Elizabeth comes in at 6:30 a.m. And then also on Friday, we've got Brilliance of the Seas, as well as the Azamara Journey. Now, Brilliance of the Seas will be at the Overseas Passenger Terminal. The Azamara Journey will be at White Bay. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic. And then on Saturday, the Resilient Lady pops in. So Resilient Lady will be leaving Melbourne and headed up towards Sydney. So that's going to be great. All right, now let's have a look at what's in Brizzy. Brizzy has got Brizzy today had. Did Brisbane have? What did Brisbane have? Let's check it out. Excuse me. Today Brisbane had nothing. Tomorrow Brisbane has got nothing. The next ship coming into Brisbane will be the Carnival. Oh, I lie. Carnival Luminosa comes into Brisbane tomorrow at 7 a.m. And then on Friday, the Celebrity Edge comes into Brisbane, followed by the Pacific Encounter, which comes in on Saturday. So Brisbane ports are starting to hot up, and there's a few things going on. So that's going to be absolutely amazing. All right. Okay. Now, let's have a look at what else is going on. Joe is saying nothing much. He just said he thought he remembered Cape Canaveral, which is what he said. So there we go, folks. So that is Amy's cruise. Now, okay, I have to say this. Bruce from Ocean to Ocean, if I don't put this on, because Bruce's cruise goes out in 500 days. Okay, this one is going from the 15th of June 2025. It's leaving from Seattle and it heads up towards Alaska. Folks, why don't you have a listen? Have a look-see and see what you think.
Have you been dreaming of an Alaskan cruise? Or maybe you've taken one before and you just can't wait to go again. If so, the Helping Hands for Cruising Group Cruise is just the cruise for you. June 15th through June 22nd, 2025, you will set sail on the magnificent Norwegian Encore. This amazing group cruise will take you to Juneau, Skagway, a majestic cruise through Glacier Bay, Ketchikan, a stop in Victoria, British Columbia before arriving back in Seattle. Contact Bruce at ocean2oceantravel.com today to find out how you can be a part of this fantastic group cruise to Alaska. This is one you definitely don't want to miss.
It's an amazing cruise. It's going to be a load of fun. Joe is saying he's just sitting there letting me talk. My voice is so relaxing. Seriously? Get on with it, Sean. He likes to listen to you, so just get on with it. Okay. Well, guys and gals, this is the cruise that's happening in a little over 337 days. So if you don't go on this cruise, then I don't know what. Let's have a look and see what it says. What cruise is it? That's a winner. That is absolutely a winner. Thank you very much. We're certainly looking forward to that cruise. I can tell you we're going to be seeing all sorts of, we're going to be doing all sorts of things that we normally would do on a cruise, and that is have some fun and meet new people and just enjoy the moment. And that's what cruising's all about. Joe is saying, yep, seriously, my voice is so relaxing. Oh, well, there you go. Winner, chicken dinner. Absolutely. Look, here's the thing, guys. You get on board this cruise ship. Now, first of all, those of you that do not know, you go into Sydney Harbour. When you get on board a cruise ship in Sydney, especially if you're at the overseas passenger terminal, you've got on your right-hand side, now the Celebrity Edge is big enough that it cannot go under the coat hanger, Sydney Harbour Bridge. So what it does is the passenger terminal, the overseas passenger terminal, is just on the right of the ship. You would have the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and it parks in an area where the overseas passenger terminal is in an area called, well, to the right of it is an area called the Rocks. And the actual waterway that it's in is called Circular Quay. And this is almost in the heart of downtown Sydney. So what you see here is on the left-hand side of the ship, you'll see Waterway and then the Sydney Opera House. So you're right in the middle of it all. Now, comes say 4 p.m. 1600 when the ship is due to pull out. So what happens is the ship pushes away from the dock and then does a reverse. And as it reverses, the aft part of the ship actually sticks its nose right underneath the coat hanger, underneath the harbour bridge, and then sails straight out through the harbour, down through the Sydney Heads. And has got to be one of the most amazing feelings when you pull out of the overseas passenger terminal. Now, we've done the overseas passenger terminal, but we've also done when it parks at White Bay. So at White Bay, again, you've got port to your left, but this time when you board the ship, you go out on the ship and it goes underneath the coat hanger. So picture this. You've got Sydney Harbour Bridge going over the top with your funnel roughly about yay far from the bottom of the bridge, scraping the bridge, goes out underneath the bridge, and then on the right-hand side, as you go out, you've got Overseas Passenger Terminal, Circular Quay, Sydney Opera House. Now do this when the sun's setting. That has got to be the most exquisite view. So folks, you know what? You've got to come down and try it out. Have a look-see. All right, Joe is saying these ships make the ferries look like matchbox cars. Oh, you're absolutely right, mate. Especially when you've got the bigger ones. Like if you think about, please God, the Icon of the Seas makes it down to Melbourne, and it will park. I beg your pardon, makes its way to Sydney, and it will park at the Overseas Passenger Terminal because it is way too big to go under the harbour bridge. And you look at the Manly Ferry. I can tell you the Manly Ferry isn't very manly next to one of these ships. It's very, very small. And they hold a good couple of hundred people on board. Nothing like the thousands that some of these mega ships carry. So it's absolutely quite an exquisite view and experience when you're doing all these sort of cruises. So folks, come and join us. Come down under. Even if it takes you, a 21-hour flight to come on down, just come on down and have a look-see. Enjoy time down under. Get on a cruise with us. You're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time. Joe's saying, I remember photographing the Diamond Princess in 2018. The Manly ferries were tiny. Yeah, and I can tell you, if you have a look at the one we did on the Grand Princess, there is a video or some shorts of Ilana and I. We took some video of when we took Mom and Dad out on their very first cruise. We took them out on the Grand Princess. It left Melbourne, sailed up to Eden, and then went into Sydney and stopped in at the Overseas Passenger Terminal. And then we got off there and we went to the rocks and spent a bit of time in the rocks and so on and so forth. But you know what was exciting was you look at the ferries around next to these, and yes, they were relatively small. But the exciting thing when you're coming to Sydney is jump on a ferry, go over to Taronga Zoo, check out Taronga Zoo, go and have a look at other places around the ferry, around Circular Quay and Sydney Harbour, and I reckon you'd be very pleasantly surprised. Now, let's go down to Adelaide, because that's the picture behind me is Adelaide, and you'll notice that just above the blue thing on the right-hand side, so just over here, just outside where my hand is, that is one of Adelaide's balls, and then there's another view of Adelaide's balls just over there. That's quite an amazing statue, and not far from the balls is, or virtually opposite, is the pigeon, and the pigeon stands almost higher than the balls. So this is all in Rundle Mall, and Rundle Mall is actually in the mall down over here, which you can't see because I'm blocking it. But the good thing about Rundle Mall is you've got all these things here. It's a walk through. You can just go and have a good old walk. and look at the world, the universe, and everything. It is absolutely beautiful. Adelaide is a lovely town, and we actually went down to the botanical gardens when we were there. And I can tell you, folks, Adelaide has some good history in that Adelaide or South Australia is one of the only colonies in Australia, because every state was a colony. So Adelaide and South Australia was the only colony that was settled by free settlers. So in all the others, Victoria, which is where we are, New South Wales, which is where Sydney is, and Queensland, they were all, and also Tasmania, where Joe is, where Jonesy is, they were all penal colonies. So the British at the time decided to put on those people that did some major serious theft, loaves of bread, put them all on a ship and sentenced them to life in exile. And they brought them here. And you know what a bunch of criminals does? Yeah, they create an awesome country. So I'm really proud to be living in this country as a immigrant Aussie. Joe is going, if he wins the $200 million tomorrow night, he'll be paying the full fare for the Paris to Prague and Splendors of Europe trip with Langley's coaches of Dubbo. Mate, I'll tell you what, we're all gunning for that $200 million. Please God, I win it. G'day, Ross. Welcome aboard. We've been talking about one cruise that's coming up in November 29th of 2025. Something you've had a little bit to do. But also just to tell people that, hey, we finally got that EIN number, and what that means is that any bookings that they do with the Rock and Roll Group Tribute Cruise, Ross, I'm getting tongue-tied over that name. The Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, anybody who gets involved in that, there is some tax deduction that's going to come out of there. Any other donations that are done with Helping Hands for Cruising are done with a tax deduction. Joe's saying that if he goes on that trip, he wants to check out Wordsburg. Why? It's full of words. Sorry, Joe, that was bad. Nick is saying the one flight he's not looking forward to is Australia. His overnight flight from Darwin to Sydney. It's necessary to connect from the Ghan to the Indian Pacific. Hey, that's not a bad flight. It's a short one. The one that the one that is really going to stress you out is the one that you've got going from Toronto to Brisbane. That's a long flight. But you know what the good news is? You're coming down under. Joe saying g'day to Ross. We've got Ross saying g'day to Joe. Nick is saying that he thought I was going to say a bunch of criminals get elected and lead the country in Canberra. Well, yeah, Albanese is one of those. Oh, no, sorry. Can't say that. Joe is saying, mate, my father and his siblings were born there. Yep. I know. I was being sarcastic. Okay. Ross is saying, tell Meg you need a copy of the letter from the IRS with the number. I have it. She emailed it to me, so I have it. Do you want a copy of that? Tell me yes or no, Ross. If you do, I'll send you the letter. Okay. Unless that's not the correct letter, but at the end of the day, I'll send it to you, and you can then have a look-see. All right. Okay, so... okay, let's see what Ross says. Yes, please. All right, mate. I will... straight after the live, I will send it to you. And then you can have a look-see, and you can go, okay, yes, no, whatever. But I will get it sent to you. All right, so... Adelaide being one of the free settler areas, it certainly built up as a community. Adelaide is Australia's fourth or fifth largest capital city. So there we go. Things are awesome. Okay, what's Ross saying? Ross is saying, Sean, with every passing day, expat status in Australia is sounding nicer. Mate, you want to just you want to understand this place. It's awesome. There are beautiful areas to go to. Not to say that on your side of the pond there isn't, but let me say, you know, I'm not looking over the back of my neck all the time or behind my head all the time to see who's going to make some smart aleck comment. I mean, we live a good life here, and Australia, I can quite honestly say I'm proud that my parents made a terrible mistake and came out here. That was said tongue-in-cheek, because my mother's cousin, when we were leaving South Africa to come to Australia, she looked at my mum and she said, "Why do you want to go there? You're making a big mistake." Well, about 20 years after they made that comment, they came out to visit, and a response to my mother was, "I'm so glad you made that big mistake, because life in South Africa is not what it used to be." So there we go. I'm eternally grateful my parents made that mistake on my behalf. Nick is saying his flight out of Vancouver, hopefully meeting Larry the day he takes off from the Vancouver airport for Brisbane. Yep, it will be awesome. You know, I love these meetups, because with the meetups, you get to see the people that you've been dealing with over this medium. So yeah, it's awesome. All right, Ross corrected himself and gone nicer. Yep. Different stresses, mate. Different stresses here. Stream Elements, welcome aboard. Stream Elements is saying, welcome to Hunt Day with the Down Under Cruisers. Please support our channel so that we can support Helping Hands for Cruising. And so, folks, what I'm asking you to do is just have a look. Over there, you will see a logo, and that logo is for the Cruisathon, which we will have not this Friday, but next week. It starts next week Friday and goes Friday and Saturday. Now, what we're looking at there, and I don't know if you can see, but just inside the logo, you'll see there's the round QR code. Folks, if you click on that, you will be able to donate in USD. If you go to the square one, which is just above my head here, the square one, if you click on that, you will be donating in AUD. Folks, my suggestion, for those of you across the pond, please go ahead, and please do go ahead and donate in USD. That would be so much better. Okay, Ross is just complaining that he needs to go and find a job there. I mean, seriously. Mate, you can make your own jobs here. I believe somebody's a TA. No, let me move on. G'day, Jonesy. Welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you on board. And I absolutely... Well, no, I didn't wet myself with your joke, but I'll tell you what. I've got another one for you. How many psychologists does it take to change a light bulb? I'll let you think about that one for a minute. G'day, Sharon. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. How you feeling? I hope everything is working out well. Jonesy... Joe is saying g'day to you and Sharon, and you've got a reply. Sharon is saying g'day to Joe. Safety is my game. Well, mate, you can come and do some work with us. We do working at heights and confined space. There's always opportunities. I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching. Okay, where did that come from? Who can tell me where that came from? Jonesy, the answer to the question is just one, but the light bulb's got to want to change. A rather poignant joke with this woke society that's out there these days. Joe is saying, hoping to have some new content soon. We'll be heading to Western Plains Automotive in Dubbo soon to check out the brand new Ineos Grenadier. Man, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. Well, folks, let me say this. First up, Ilana and I are adding content slowly as we go by. There's been 2 in the series of the celebrity. There will be some more things that we're going to be doing for the Celebrity Edge, our group cruise, because what we're doing in there is information that a new cruiser might want to know. So that will be interesting. And we're busy working on some more of those, and we'll be doing one of those for the rock and roll group cruise as well, a rock and roll tribute cruise series. Nick is saying they ditched the morning breakfast on the eastbound Indian Pacific on the side of the train because of timekeeping issues. Thankfully, they'll do it on one of the other trains he'll be on. Well, that'll be awesome. But the good news is that you generally have to eat, so you will be fed on the train anyway. They'll give you good breakfast. Yes, Ross, none. The light bulb has to want to change itself. It's actually one, not none, because I mean the Sparky actually has to then, if the light bulb agrees, has to then put it in. So there you go. Not the Sparky, the psychologist. Okay, yes, you were right, Ross. It is Monsters, Inc. Sharon is saying everything is super great there. That is awesome. Hope your sister's doing well. Joe, I think the old school Land Rover Defender and that's what you'll see in the Grenadier. A whole new vehicle using the old Defender's body shell. Oh, wow. That'll look cool. Joe's heading off. Take it. Mate, why are you heading off? Are you going to spend time with Jimmy later on, or are you just having a break? Well, mate, thanks for popping in anyway, and have a very pleasant evening. Ross, a tin of content, I know what you mean there, not a tin, of content is coming. Also, he might have a special celebrity guest from the cruising industry on the Cruisathon stream, waiting on confirmation. Well, mate, you've just whet my appetite, so that should be really good. Certainly looking for what's going on the Cruisathon. Jonesy, see you later, Joe. Have fun. Okay, so, yeah. So I will just come up with some info here, because I think that you guys would want to know who's doing what and when. I will just quickly press some buttons and bring it up as to who's doing what on the Cruisathon. That way you folks will be able to know who you're going to come and see and what we're doing. So there we go. Hang on a sec. I will bring up... Okay. There we go. Okay. So, all right. I'll do this. See if I can. No, I can't. Can I? Let's have a look. See if I can. See if I can. I'm told that I can do a lot of things. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, folks. Well, here we go. Let me just add this. And then you guys can see exactly what we're looking at. All right, so here we go. So what you're looking at here, folks, is the current timetable for those that are on the Cruisathon and showing their, portraying their shows. So first things first, on Friday the 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern, these are all Eastern times, so just bear in mind, at 6 p.m., Michael Ann Spoilt Mama will commence the Helping Hands for Cruising group cruise, Helping Hands for Cruising Cruisathon. She will be followed by some guy called Ross from this thing, Orange Cone Vlogs. I mean, I know I'd rather speak to Donna, but hey, this guy Ross is going to be spurting his stuff at 7 p.m. At 8 p.m., we've got Matt and Kimbra from Fantastic Cruising doing their show and having lots of interesting facts Maybe we can ask Ross to. We could ask Matt to tell us about some sea cruise animals or sea animals or whatever. At 9 p.m., we've got Controversial Cruising, Scotty from Not Controversial Cruising, and also Bill from Warm Strong Adventures together doing a live stream. And then they're going to be followed by an amazing group at 10 p.m. This organization, this group, this team of Ilana and Sean. Well, you've just got to watch them. They are unbelievable. They certainly bring highlight to every stream. So yes, you need to be there at 10 p.m. At 11, we've got Crystal from Destination Delight. And folks, she is an amazing lady. Has done a bucket load for Helping Hands Cruising, is on the board. So you folks want to see her show and pop on board. We've got on Saturday morning, Saturday the 10th, we've got Embarkation Nation. And Embarkation Nation will be doing their 2 cents worth. That'll be great. 11, we've got Jimmy the Astute Tourist. 11 to 12, we've got Darian from Magnificent Germany with Darian. Just please do not say spaghetti eyes. At 12 o'clock, we've got Ocean to Ocean Travel. So Bruce pulled there. At 1 p.m., the Moonlight, just Josh and Chastity. 2 p.m. at the moment is a blank screen, but we'll so Captain Billy. At 4 o'clock is Paul from PSV Odyssey. We might even get to see Meg that day. At 5 p.m., we've got Carnival Cruise Addicts, Liz and Chris. Man, those guys are awesome. Can't wait to see what they've got on board. 6 o'clock is Amy's chat, and I know what she's going to be talking. Adventures, man, bunch of new cruisers going on a cruise-a-thon, going their first cruise, and then coming to the Rock and Roll Group Cruise. That's going to be amazing. Scott and Amber from Kicking the Country will be on board. That'll be nice. Followed by Call Me V. That's also going to be an awesome show. And then we finish off with the initial reason for Helping Hands for Cruising being set up. Youngster. Don't know what happened there. Hopefully, yes, we're back. Don't know what happened there. It decided that, boy, it was overloaded. There we go. I hope I'm no longer a blank screen. I hope I'm coming over the airwaves and you guys are getting our great show. So there we are. All right, moving along. I know exactly why, because I had too many things up and running. Anyway, let's get to the bottom. Give me a sec while I just catch up with the chat. Okay, there you go. Okay, Sharon is saying goodbye to Joe. Have a super great, safe, warm day. Yes, Sean, my sister's doing super great. Just got a doctor's appointment today. Awesome. I'll give you a heads up, Sharon. Temperature here is not currently at 8:45 p.m. The temperature currently is 16 degrees C. Sorry, I lied. 19 degrees C. At 19 degrees C, what it does is it says 19, okay, let's make that 20, 40, 50, it's about 70 degrees. So it's quite pleasant. Jonesy, I tried to make it larger. Look what it did. It kicked me out. So I'm sorry, mate. That's as large as we can see. And yes, Ross has told me, I know, people, I know, it's gone blank. It's just the way it is. It kicked me out. There you go. Hello. No, well, I'm back. All right. Jonesy is saying that on Friday the Coral Princess arrives in Burnie, which is awesome. We're good now. Thanks, Sharon. Really appreciate that. Jonesy is saying that it's 18 degrees. So we're 1 degree higher than you, mate. Just 1 degree. Ross. Oh, Sean, can you see by the light? Sorry. I didn't get it, Ross. Yep. So Stream Elements are saying we'd like to thank all of you who donated to Helping Hands for Cruising. Please continue to do so that we can get more recipients on board a cruise ship. Well. There's a face I have not seen in a while. Well, there's a face I've never seen. How are you, young Mr. Tim? How are you? And rough back to Duke. How are you, folks? Nice to have you on board. I hope you guys have a great day. Are you busy tripping around, or are you in a stable place, Tim? Man, it's nice to see you there. Ross is saying it is currently 1C. Man, that's freaking freezing. Duke wants you to throw... No, because then you're going to tell me duck, and I can't do that right now. I'm in the middle of a show. I mean, seriously, Tim. Hey, by the way, Tim, for your info, we have our cruise-a-thon coming up not this Friday, but next week Friday. Not only that, but on November 29, 2025, we're having a rock and roll group cruise. I beg your pardon, Ross. A rock and roll tribute cruise that is leaving out of Port Canaveral and is heading down to the Caribbean through St. Martin's and a whole heap of places, and then back into it's going to go for 7 days. Do you want to join us, Tim? We're going to have an absolute ball, and whatever you pay for on the cruise is basically going to benefit Helping Hands. Have a look, see what you think. Come join us. It's going to be fun. Jonesy is saying next Wednesday the Norwegian Spirit arrives. Hey, that's going to be great. Tim is stable for now. Oh, that's cool. Yes, I know, and I don't want to, Ross, so just keep it there. Duck, duck, goose. Yeah, I thought you'd come up with that one, Tim. Sharon is saying it's 48 degrees where she is, minus 9C. Feels like 43. No, it wouldn't be minus 9. I'll tell you what it is. It was 48F. 48 less 30 is 18, so you're looking at 9, plus 9. At 32 is when it is 0. So there you go. Jonesy, Thursday the Resilient Lady arrives again. Oh yeah, there's going to be those resilient ladies getting off the cruise, right? Sunday's the Norwegian Spirit again, so it's doing a trip around Tassie. I think you've got some exciting stuff there. I tell you what, Jonesy, you've got some of the videos you've done with your drives. Man, I just love it. It's awesome. Folks, you've got to see Jonesy, Radio Jonesy on tour. You've got to go in and see his channel. He's got some absolutely fantastic videos about his little hometown, his home state. It is an amazing state, Tasmania. It's absolutely beautiful. You need to be there. Ross is saying, based on internet signal, we may do a private Zoom for those overseas to view the entertainment on the rock and roll tribute cruise with a donation to Helping Hands for Cruising. Man, that's going to be really cool. Really cool. Jonesy, a new ship coming in that I haven't seen before. It is the Island Princess. Mate, that is an awesome ship. Seriously, that is an awesome ship. And if you get a chance, go down the port and actually look at it. Island Princess is very similar to the Caribbean Princess, and a couple of and one other, I think. But that is an awesome ship, and you need to have a look at it. Getting close. By the way, Jonesy, are you coming with us on the DUCs cruise? The option is there. New Year's Eve in Sydney. Next day, we're out in the ship. Sorry. New Year's Eve in Sydney. The next day, we're recovering. The day after, we're on the cruise ship. There you go. Okay, so let me just bring up... I'll just share the screen again. And this time what I'll do is I will bring up the cruise figures so that you can have a look. See, these are the figures for the rock and roll tribute cruise. So what you see right now is the actual pricing. So this is awesome. This is what it costs, and the benefit is that once you pay these, what you've got is you've got your cabin, you've got some of the money being donated to Helping Hands for Cruising, for which you will get a tax deduction. You then get a drinks package included, specialty dining, $100 onboard credit. You've got not only that, but you've got it's a $50 deposit straight away, and if you put that $50 down, you hold yourself a cabin, and then you've got a payment plan to come where you can pay it off, and that would be the best way to do this. It's going to be an amazing cruise. Let me show you where we're going. Port Canaveral, Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, Tortola, and Great Stirrup Cay. That, my friends, makes it an absolutely amazing cruise to actually go on. So, folks, I'm going to say this again. Come on down, spend some time, and have a ball. All right, let me get that off. We can always bring it up a little later on. Okay. Jonesy is saying that's on the 16th, the Island Princess. Man, I think you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be fun. Get down there, have a look. Ross is saying also, who is Ricky Rocker? Come on the rock and roll tribute cruise to meet him or her. Clues coming 6 months before the cruise. Man, this is great. The next recipient for the next cruise, Tim, is a lady by the name of Roxanne. She's going to be going on Amy's group cruise. We currently do not have a recipient for any of the other cruises. However, we are looking, and this cruise-a-thon will certainly help us to be able to put people on board cruise ships. So we currently do not have one for the Australian cruise, and we do not have one for the Alaska cruise. On the rock and roll cruise, we're looking to put 2 recipients on board. So, we want to raise as much dollars as we possibly can. So, Timmy, come and join us for the cruise-a-thon. Spend some time, and mate, empty out your wallet. We don't mind. You know it's going to a great cause, and we'll certainly be getting some exciting people on board. By the way, Timmy, if you happen to know of anybody that you'd like to put on a cruise, whether they come from, who cares where they come from, please put together a 2 to 5 minute video telling us who the nominee is and why you think they should go on a cruise, and we'd be more than happy to discuss it at board level. If they're fortunate enough, we'll get them on board a cruise. Ross is saying prices include all port taxes and fees and all gratuities. So that's another thing I keep forgetting, but that certainly adds to all the good reason for you to spend the money. He's also saying that a payment plan and financing options are coming soon. So Just a couple of things need to be worked out, and we'll be getting there. When is the Alaska cruise? So the Alaska cruise, Timmy, is on the 15th of June, 2025. It leaves out of Seattle, goes up to Alaska, and back down again. So there you go. G'day, Beach Feet. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. We're just talking about things that are coming up in the near future. The Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, and we're talking about... that's for those that don't know, that's on the Norwegian Joy, and we're certainly going to be having a lot of fun. There are going to be three bands. One is called Who's who is tributing the band The Who, and then the other two have gone out of my mind right now because I'm an old fart and I suffer from old farts disease. But it'll come back to me when I least expect it. Ross is saying also with the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, the goal is to raise enough to fund 10 recipients. That's the goal for the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, so that's going to be awesome. The goal for the Cruise-a-thon is that we want to raise $10,000. With $10,000, we can get 3 people on board a cruise ship. You know what? That would be absolutely fantastic if you could jump on board that cruise. Unfortunately, we will not be in town for it, but we will be in town for the Rock and Roll Group Cruise. So if you can make the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, that would be awesome, because then you and I could certainly get to meet face to face. But alternatively, jump on board with Bruce from Ocean to Ocean. You're going to have a good time. Thank you, Ross. I knew I could count on you. Echoes of Pompeii, which are the Pink Floyd look-alike. And then we've also got Mr. Funny Man, who does a bucket load of R&B and all sorts of stuff coming in through the 60s, 70s, 80s, and a bit of the 90s as well. So there we go. It's going to be real good fun. Mr. Funny Man is actually going to be at Stirrup Key. What's it called again? Great Stirrup Key, I beg your pardon. It's also they're going to be at Great Stirrup Key playing throughout the day, so it's going to be awesome. G'day, Radio Indie. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. The Rock and Roll Cruise is on the 29th of November, 2025. So just after Thanksgiving. And so that's going to be an exciting cruise, that one. Ross is giving you the exact dates. November 29 to December the 6th. It's, we will be in town for that one. So, Timmy, come on board, buddy. We need to fill this ship. All right? We currently have 200 cabins. If we can fill the ship, that would be extremely bloody brilliant. I mean, extremely awesome. So get yourself on board that cruise and we can have some fun. All right. Well, folks, I've been waffling for about an hour. Really appreciate you guys coming up and spending time with us. What I will say to you is that, guys, you better be around for Friday night. Those of you that are on the eastern side of the U.S., Friday night at 10 p.m. I have both Ilana and I have a special guest. Okay, let me bring this up for you, Timmy, so that you can see, because then you will have a look and say, okay, this is worth going to. So here's the itinerary for the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. It's going from Port Canaveral. You have a day at sea, then we go to Puerto Plata. The next day we go to St. Thomas in the British Virgin Islands. And then we go to the American Virgin Islands at Tortola. Well, I think it's the other way around. But anyway. And then we have a day at sea, and then we're at Great Stirrup Key, and then we're back into Port Canaveral. Now, one thing to me, I was told that in actual fact, the name Virgin Islands is a mistake, because apparently there are no virgins in the Virgin Islands. That's what Ross told me, so I'll blame him. glad you're curious. Sorry, that was a joke. Okay. Anyway, I'm glad you're curious. G'day, Australian Radio Indie. Glad you could be there. Okay, Tim. Okay, did show this just before. Thank you, mate. That's a pleasure. Glad you could have a look. And yep, it's actually quite reasonable. I don't know if you actually saw it, but the figures were there. Oh shucks. Yeah, no, it's going to be amazing. Come on down, come join us, come spend time with us. We're going to have lots of fun, even though it's going to be the end of a 20-odd hour flight for us to get in there. But it'll be fun, and we're certainly looking forward to it. All right, folks, time for me to call it quits. It's been an extremely long day for me, and so I am going to sign off. Wish you guys an awesome week. An awesome day for those of you that are waking up, and we shall catch up with you on Friday night. You never know who you're going to see. Take it easy, folks. We'll catch up with you later.